Shalom, 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 Barakar, and those of you that are keeping the Day of Atonement, may the Lord bless you. May Yahweh, those that are Israelites, of course, may Yahweh Hashem Meshach bless you, that you keep it in a beautiful fashion, and make your prayers be known. All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Hashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone, and huge hearty shalom to the prophets of that body. Okay, the men of Great Millstone and any affiliate camps. Okay, shalom to you, and peace and blessings to the 144,001 third, and may the spirit be and may the spirit of endurance be upon you, and peace and blessings also onto your households. I used to watch this show. It's like a British talk show back in the day. I think it's still around, not too sure. It's called The Big Question. And this episode, it's a little snippet from that, from a 2020, from one of their shows in 2020. Okay, the question here is about Big Brother Watch, closed circuit television or CCTV, how technology has overtaken people's lives. And also the ultimate question is, do we place too much faith in technology? Now, obviously, those of us that are old enough to remember, the old world, how it used to be, everything was more done on an analog basis. The way older people that in their late 60s, 70s, late 70s still like to pay their bills, go to banks, post offices, like to hold cash money, like to hold change, like the feel of tangible things. If they do have a mobile phone, if they do, it's a very simple one from about 20 years ago, the small Nokias or, the ones that were there back in 2005, 2006, the little flip phones or whatever, that's the extent they usually go in terms of using technology. But still, nevertheless, even the older generation has been influenced by technology because we all use it to a certain degree to make things, what's the term, easier, more seamless. All right. And that's what it's going to lead to. So all this technology that we've been getting used to over the years, all right, over a period of time, think, this has made life easier. This has made life easier, not knowing it's a detriment to us. An example would be, a simple example is the microwave. The microwave emits radiation, giving you damn near cancer, right? But we still utilize it, right? We still use it sometimes just to heat maybe a bowl of porridge up, or, because we're so busy in this world with earning our daily bread and dealing with the chores, and everything else that we got to do. So we sometimes use these things to make things quicker and easier. But things that are quick and easy sometimes are not really good for our health. All right, and the same with technology, but it's done by design. Okay, I'm going to play the video in a second. It's not that long. It's about 3 minutes, 3-odd minutes. All right, gradualism. I just want to get the definition of gradualism. What is a simple definition of gradualism? Okay, gradualism. The theory that new species evolve from existing species through gradual, often imperceptible changes rather than thorough or through abrupt major changes. Okay, let me get a better one. Okay, gradual is basically, a slower change rather than a sudden one. Okay, to the point where you don't really notice these things happening around you. You just don't notice it. Okay, and it gets to the point before you know it, and you sort of, like, as they say, sit down, or what's that saying? When you be circumspect and sit still for a second and analyze everything in your mind and look around, and you say to yourself, the world has just changed drastically over the last couple of years. Look how it's changed in the last 2 decades. And you just realize, damn, look where we are. We're at that point where, we're living in a very futuristic type world. Okay. And all these things that are happening collectively. All right. okay, or from on a technological basis, is all done by design. All right, so people put their faith in technology. They do put their faith in technology. Who's does anybody ever walk upright anymore? Their head is always down, looking at the damn mobile phone. I've seen people damn near get run over, almost get run over because they're always looking at their mobile phone. So people do put their faith in technology. All right, do people the way people look at their mobile phones all the time? Do you actually think that they meditate on the Most High? Okay, especially our people. Do they know the name? Right? We know that heathen is just a piece of shit. They ain't gonna do it, right? Because they don't believe in the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yashai anyway. Okay? Because remember, paraphrasing scripture, the fool hath said there is no God, right? Okay? So all these things that are happening is a prelude. All right? What's a prelude? Right? Okay? A prelude, an action or event serving as an introduction to something more important. Okay? Now, what do they want to introduce that's more important? They want to introduce the charagma, which is a CHIP. All right? Okay? The CHIP, the RF to the I to the D, because you already know the new digital ID scheme is to be rolled out across the UK, and this is already been happening in other parts of the world. All right? Now it's going to hit ground zero America very soon as well. And obviously ground zero America is Babylon. All right? That's like the head office of wickedness, America. It's going to be rolled out there. Hence the reason why it's going to be destroyed to smithereens. Okay? Now, the video that I'm going to play is from 5 years ago, right? But now this is here we are today. This was being announced in the last week or so, I believe. New digital ID scheme to be rolled out across the UK. A new digital ID scheme will help combat illegal working while making it easier for the vast majority of people to use vital government services. Digital ID will be mandatory for right to work checks by the end of Parliament. Also, accessing your services, buying things, buying products and services, paying bills. It's all going to be done using this new digital ID. And a lot of people are worried about the older generation that are not so tech savvy. All right, what's going to happen to them? And then a lot of people are having questions about, okay, if everything's going to be in our mobile phones are going to be cloned, they're going to be stolen. There's already cybercrime happening on a huge scale right now. How much more with these mobile phones? So obviously, a lot of people are asking these questions that is going to lead to something more sinister. And what's that going to lead to? The RF to the I to the D, which is going to be a technology in your hand, the charagma, which is an insertion or etching or piercing or penetration of the flesh, right? Obviously, you can lose your mobile phone. A mobile phone can be stolen, but the only way you're going to lose your hand is if somebody CUTSs it off. Let's just say it cuts it off, right? That's the only way. Okay? So there's a lot of loopholes, all right? People are asking questions. People are becoming aware. Even people that don't know about what's coming, regarding our King Yahweh Shai returning, Brakti Yahweh Bashim Yashai, regarding the rulership of the Israelites that's on this planet Earth and beyond next in the spirit power of Yahweh Bashim Yashai. A lot of people are still asking questions that this is going to lead to something more sinister, all right? Because we already live in a big brother state. So all these things have been happening, right? I would say from my personal memory, from the because I'm in my late 40s, I remember when my father used to go to the bank on a Saturday. Whenever they would have a day off on a Saturday, go there to take out the money for the week. So they got enough money to do the shopping, pay bills, put fuel in the car, right? They would do that, or bi-weekly. So you got cash in your hand. This is before before they had what do you call it? We call them cash points here, where you take money out of a machine, cash machines. Before they had that on a large scale, right? Then cash machines came in. Then from cash machines, cards, people using cards, not carrying cash anymore, right? And then from there, what was it then? And that was like probably like the mid 80s. Then we're coming to, then mobile phone started coming out, 84, 85. I got my first mobile phone in 94. I remember that. And then from there, technology kept expanding and expanding and expanding to the point where we're at the point where a lot of people put their faith in technology. It says it. Do we place too much faith in technology? Yeah, the people do. But we place the hopeful elect, we place our hope in Yahweh Bashim Yashai. That's what we put our faith in, because we know that we're in this world. We're going to use the technology to a certain degree. You know, I'm going to use a mobile phone to make communication, send an email, all these basic things. But we're not going to use it to the extent. I don't use Apple Pay myself. You know, I don't use that. I'm not. You know, I haven't gone in that area. I'm not going to do that. That's just not me. You know, some people do. Nothing wrong with that because it's in the phone, right? That's up to you. But a lot of people are, you know, I just use it in a basic way just to sort of get through the day, right? Wherever you got to use tech, you got to pay for parking, you got to use a mobile phone to pay, uh, you know, you pay online or whatever, you do it. That's as extent as we go. If we absolutely have to do it and we're using our mobile phone to do it, all right? Obviously, when the charagma comes out, you know, right? You know, the hopeful elect are going to say up middle finger to the charagma because they're not going to take it because they're protected. They've got that covering, all right? But the rest of the world are going to take the CHIP, the charagma, because they put their faith in technology and they're going to say, let's just move with the world because they're looking for optimism. They're looking for things to go back to normal. They're looking to go on the yearly holidays. They're looking to take their girlfriend out on a Friday night. They're looking to a woman looking to take her boyfriend out on a Friday night. They're looking to go out as a family with it, husband going out with his wife and children on a Friday, Saturday night. Go to the movies. Go to a theme park. Go on holidays. Go to a restaurant. They want that hope, that the optimism. So a lot of people will take it. So yeah, people do put a lot of faith in technology. All right. It's just a brief conversation. Let's just see what they're saying. This is a lady. I think she's a CEO or director of Big Brother Watch, which is an interesting channel which I've subscribed to. It's got some decent vids on it. All right.
In terms of technology is taking over all our lives, although many of us don't realise it. Smartphones can now do as much as a room full of giant computers once achieved in the 1970s, and we just take it for granted. Some people are slaves to their Fitbits, and few of us give a moment's thought to the information that's readily available about our daily lives, loves, our personal tastes and habits. We already live amidst an internet of things where your fridge, your TV may be transmitting information about what you're up to. Yeah. Information that is commercially valuable. And now facial recognition cameras on the streets can transmit pictures of what some citizens may be up to and where they're going. The British are the most relaxed nation in the world about closed-circuit cameras watching their every move. Should we be so relaxed? Silky Carlo, director of Big Brother Watch. 76. Good morning. Welcome. What are your biggest concerns, Silky?
Well, I think we have to acknowledge that we're going through one of the most rapid and significant changes, revolutions really, in human civilization with the birth of new technologies. And unfortunately, what I think is happening is it's being treated like society is now being treated like a kind of blank slate in terms of the law, ethics, morals. There's very little stewardship around how we face this enormous amount of change.
And I think,
and I think that we are losing the basic values that underpin British democracy and civil liberties. And facial recognition surveillance is a great example of that. And in fact, I think we are at great risk of becoming a surveillance state.
So if Tom Chi's right, if Big Brother Watch, if George Orwell were to, author of 1984, if he were to pop in, if he were to drop in, what would he make of it now?
I think there's a distinct difference here. There's a lot of surveillance of us that's from corporations, and
so George would be cool with it.
Yeah? Well, I don't know. I think he would recognise it's something very different to his original vision, where you've got this trading of your personal data in return for services. It's a very unconscious trade. Few of us really understand what we're giving away in return for those services, and that's clearly something that's got to change. And perhaps the more terrifying bit, and that we should be more concerned about, is actually that trade-off of our privacy against the state and the state's ability to monitor us.
I mean, look at the old people in the background. Do you think this old Edomite here, one of the black tie, knows what's going on, or she knows what's going on? They're just listening. So a lot of people are going to get caught out with this when it does come into fruition, the charagma. Remember, this is from 2020. So I'm just showing you like the building blocks, how it's been going on, even for the last couple of years, and where we're at right now with the new digital ID scheme to be rolled out, right? Okay, and gradualism, okay, and how things have been gradualized, being coming in slowly but surely without you knowing, to the point where when you sit down and analyze things and you digress your thoughts and you just had some time, as they say, just time to smell the roses, right? You think, damn, look where we were 20, 30 years ago, look where we are now. It's like, what the hell? It's like everything's just tech, you know? People hardly even put, literally, people hardly even put pen to paper anymore. Have you know? And also, simple thing like handwriting. Have you noticed Gen Z's handwriting? Their handwriting is terrible for the most part. I remember back in the day when I was a child, learning to do my handwriting when I was about 8, 9, 10 years old in the mid 80s, early 80s, right? You know, we had we had to practice with templates to make sure that our handwriting was correct, that it was within the lines or on the lines, the letters and punctuation, full stop, apostrophes, all that, you know, commas were in the correct places. Now people don't even emphasize on that anymore because everything is tech based.
Control us, understand what we're doing, where we're going, who we're associating with. And that for me is that they're two very different questions. One is a commercial question about what we're willing to trade for a service. One is about our rights in the face of the law, in the face of government.
Yeah, Silky.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, in some ways, I think 2020 is the new 1984. I think we're absolutely walking into Orwellian times, and I agree, Orwell wouldn't have been able to predict how much people are surveilling their own homes with listening devices, basically hot micing. Absolutely, and it is shocking. But let's remember as well.
I mean, even some of the tech that we have, our mobile phones, our TVs, you know, we're basically, you know, without sometimes even knowing, right? Some people that are completely oblivious got their head in the sand. If you say to them, "Oh yeah, your smart TV is monitoring you, recording you, listening to you," your mobile phone is doing the same thing. Say, "Oh, get the F out of here, get the F out of here," not knowing. And actually, it is monitoring us. It is recording us because you've got some sick people on the other end. They're probably watching you too. You probably got your TV switched off and you're coming out of the shower and you're coming out naked, and these damn devils or however they're doing are probably watching you. It's how sick and sinister this world is, man. They're keeping track of everybody already. All right, but they want to amplify that with the RF to the I to the D, and all these things are the building blocks to what they want, which is you know, the NWO, right? The ultimate goal is to CHIP everyone and control them, and these damn devils want to be like the Most High, knowing and seeing and feeling everything regarding yourself.
In terms of the state's activities, even in the UK, in a democracy, there was a GCHQ program, one of our intelligence agencies, that was taking photos of people through their webcams.
There you go.
2 million people, innocent members of the public. And now we have facial recognition cameras doing arbitrary identity checks of us as we walk down the streets. We need an intervention. This has to stop. I mean, really, this is changing the fabric of what British society is.
Changing the fabric indeed. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. Let's go to a couple of scriptures here regarding, because, you know, a lot of people are putting their faith in technology, you know. They're putting their faith in other things rather than the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Hashai. Obviously, the heathen, they're going to put faith in their fake gods and their who they deify, right? Some idiots out there, even some of our, well, I wouldn't call them our people, so-called some Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians are going to put their faith in Captain Kirk, you know, that just, you know, went to, you know, that was the so-called deleted, right? Allegedly, you know, well, so-called deleted, right? You know, they're calling him some kind of martyr or whatever. But anyway, we, you know, let's go to Proverbs 28:26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. All right? Because we're not supposed to just trust in ourselves. We're supposed to trust, put all our faith in Yahweh B'Hashem Hashai and lean not into our own understanding. Paraphrasing another scripture there. All right? We're supposed to be circumspect. We're supposed to put our trust in the Lord, man. Okay? And the Lord puts a spirit on you to walk wisely. All right? Like a spiritual sat-nav, you know. I hate to use that as an analogy, but, you know, a spiritual, you know, the Lord guiding you, guiding your steps. Okay, because man's going of the Lord. And then you're gonna be delivered. You know? You're gonna be delivered. You're gonna be delivered. The elect I'm talking about. Okay, and you 2/3 and you heathens don't have that covering. Okay? Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. Okay. Verse 6, for he shall be like the heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. Okay, so you're going to be walking around in like empty places where there is no life, no nourishment. All right, okay, because you don't trust in the Lord. Okay, you're cursed. Okay, so you're not going to have you don't have that covering, because even if hell's breaking loose, okay, the elect are going to be tried. Okay, but the unelect member, right, a 2/3, that is like a heathen. They're going to go from place to place, not finding no quench. Their thirst won't be quenched. Their belly will still be rumbling, right? But the elect, okay, they might go through that for a short period, maybe even 24 hours, right? But the Lord is going to bless them where they'll find a house with warmth, with a generator, with a shower that will work so they can wash their backside, right? And maybe even some food that's kept in a pantry and in freezers that are working with a generator where you can roast some chicken or some lamb. The Lord can provide that. The Lord can make things like that happen. All right? So the elect are going to be covered with these things that are coming on this planet Earth. All right? The elect don't put their faith in technology and in man. All right? Psalms 118 verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, than to put confidence in man. It is better to trust in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, than to put confidence in man. All right? That's what the elect are going to do. But you unelect and you heathens, right, are going to get caught out. Okay? Because, these devils are going to move fast. They're saying by 2029 they're going to roll this digital ID thing out. It's going to be completely done, according to some articles I've read, right? But obviously 2029 is what? Damn near 4 years away. All right, me personally speaking as a man, I don't think it's going to be that long. Because remember, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai pulls the strings and controls everything. Okay, so therefore the Lord is going to speed it up even faster because, these damn devils want to start seeing people lined up to take the thing to get penetrated with a CHIP. They want to get to that point. Okay, they want to get to that point. That's going to be their their climax for them. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want to that's what they want to get to. Okay. Revelation 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. They got a short time. All right. And I don't think it's going to go on that long. If it does, that's the Lord's decision. But I believe personally that, we don't have long here left. Okay. Revelation 13:16. This is their goal. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. Let's go to the one that says. Okay, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And the number is 603 score and 6. Okay, you won't be able to buy and sell. Now, without this new digital ID, you won't be able to work. All right, you won't be able to buy things. You won't be able to sell things. All right, you won't be able to maneuver through society. All right, then they're going to cause some kind of situation, right? If it gets to that point, unless this there's two avenues with this one. Either they'll crash the economy and then they'll say, okay, this is what we're rolling with, or they'll cause a situation which will lead everyone to put their mobile phone down and take the charagma. Okay, but we're going to see how it turns out. All right, on the next few weeks, few months. All right, Lord willing, it's not years, but we see how these devils do it. But it's coming to that point where they're going to move fast, and they're going to move quickly because they know time is short. Yahushua is returning. They see the chariots in the sky, and they've got technology where they can see the chariots in more clarity than we can see them in the sky sometimes. Okay, and the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is allowing them to see the Lord because the Lord wants to put them in fear. All right, so they're going to move quick. All right. So this is just gradualism and the preludes in a nutshell, and how people put their faith in technology, and how this has led everyone to go in the direction of technology and put their faith in it, because they don't have no covering, and they feel that this is the way to go, because they still want that optimism, and they still want to hope this world would just be like happy days, the 1950s, but more technologically based. You know, that's what they're hoping. But the elect know uh, that this is a good sign as well, that these things are happening. Everybody else is shit scared, but the elect know, elect are happy. They're probably the you know uh, prior to the Day of Atonement, of course, probably cheersing each other with beers and wines and hard liquor, saying a toast to Yahweh Hashem Yashai, saying Tawada, Lord, for making this happen, because we're closer to the end, even more, because we're at the tail end now. So this is a barakium, you know. So Tawada Yahweh Hashem Yashai. But the heathen and the 2/3 are shit scared, but the elect are happy, because this means that, His Majesty Yahweh Shai is around the corner. Is around the corner. Yahweh Shai is around the corner. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yashai, Bashem Rakakarash. And have a Thawab Day of Atonement, everyone that's keeping it. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in the UK.